trying to calm my pounding heart as the mist of the nightmare dissipated. Some banshee, I thought as I shut the screaming alarm off. Even though it was a weekend, that didn't mean I was going to sleep in. If there's one thing my dad and I have in common, it's that we like our routines. I stumbled downstairs, following the smell of fresh coffee and frying eggs. Dad was at the stove, flipping eggs in a frying pan. He hadn't bothered to get dressed yet, and was wearing his green flannel pajama pants and worn-out t-shirt with a cartoon drawing of two teepees which read 2 tents across the chest. His light brown hair was sleep-flattened on one side, and his glasses were slightly fogged from the steam coming off the stove. He didn't look like someone who kept silver blades in the lining of his jackets, or who knew 16 ways to kill a Wendigo. "Oh, morning, Sam," he said as I stepped into the kitchen. "Morning," I replied, heading for the cabinet to grab my favorite Garfield mug. "Kettle's hot, if you want tea," Dad said, transferring the eggs to a plate. "I choose to live dangerously," I replied, reaching for the still gurgling coffee pot instead. I made myself a bowl of cereal, and we both sat down, eating in silence for a few minutes. "So, I told Scoot I'd meet him at the comic store later today," I said after a little while. "Okay." I poked at my cereal, glancing up at him. "I won't stay out too late," I added. Dad looked up at me and then grimaced, rubbing a hand over his face. "I'm sorry about last night. Sam, I didn't mean to be short with you. I've just had a stressful couple of days." "Anything in particular?" I asked. My dad wasn't the type to get ruffled very easily. When you work with dangerous monsters for a living, you really couldn't be. So if he was getting stressed, it had to be something serious. But he just waved me off. "It's nothing," he said. "Just something I need to look into. Nothing you need to be worried about at the moment." I had heard him say those words before, usually to patients. Patients who he didn't want to scare. I wanted to press him for more information, but he quickly cleared his throat and changed the subject. "I have a house call today," he said. "If you're interested in coming, we'll be back before noon, so you'll still have plenty of time to hang out with Scooter." 0. Of course I didn't say no to joining Dad on his house call. Would you say no to seeing real-life monsters? Also, I needed the education. You might not guess it, but there's kind of a shortage of doctors who specialize in supernatural creatures. That's one reason I'm choosing to follow in my dad's footsteps and become a monster doc when I grow up. And it's not like you can go to school for that. So my only option is to hang out with my dad as much as possible and learn as much as I can. "So, where are we going?" I asked.